Hello everybody, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Zakaria the Ghost. Now I am fully sharing the story of Vaal, how we used to survive, how we did things. I know some of you think this is irrelevant, but you will understand when I'm done with the story. This is where we used to hang our clothes. We need to stay ready, we need to stay sharp in case somebody is looking for somebody who can come and help them in their house. If somebody is giving us a job, you need to show up neat. This is our neighbors. They used to stay here, the Nyaupe boys, and we respected them. Some of them, they had girlfriends, and we never even had, violence whereby they are fighting or police being called because of their abusing their girlfriends. They used to stay with their girlfriends there. They will go wherever they go. They hustle, they come back, they smoke their thing, they stay high, and they will sleep. And there was always, the respect between the two groups. The ones who were smoking drugs, the Nyaupe guys on this other side of the bridge, and us, people who were there to pray on the other side. We were technically both homeless, but we had two different mentalities, hope, belief, and plans for the future. Because on this side of us, we were praying that God can help us, God can give us a better tomorrow. God can remember us whereby we can stay in great places, we can have our own cars, we can start our own businesses, and those who go to school, they can graduate, and become top lawyers and become great engineers. That's what we were praying for. We can have families, we can have peace and happiness in our homes. We were praying for those things. And on the other side, you find out that the Nyaupe boys, they just want to get high and sleep. They just want to get high. That's their target. They will go out and collect the scrap metals and everything and go there and sell. From thereafter, they will come and buy Nyaupe and smoke with their girlfriends and get high and sleep. But we respected each other. That was the most important thing. When they show up to the other side and they want water, they will greet us and they will ask us for the permission to go down to the river and get water. And even if when we pass to their side and we see them with their girlfriends, we always respected them. We never wanted to take any advantage. We knew that, we should respect these people. They have their own family setup that they are having, and they respect us too. And they never stole anything from us. All right, now, let me share the stories. Guys, Vaal is one of the biggest rivers, in South Africa. People used to, visit us from different provinces, different places in SA, because they wanted to get that spiritual power. They wanted to get, the great prophecies from, the prophets who were always, under the bridge, or who were always at that place, at Vaal. I wanted to share certain pictures, but I didn't want to reveal the exact spot where you find, the prophets, because some people, they are hiding. They don't want to be seen a lot because, sometimes we spend nights with, top names, people who are top lawyers, who are known, and people who are working for top companies. They go there because of the want answers. They go there because, they want clarity, when it comes to certain things. And, there were lots of people. There were people who goes there because of they have certain problems. Some, they were also doing some wrong things, because you need to know that when it comes to prophets, we have different types of prophets. There are people who are gifted with numbers, and people who are gifted with numbers, they can see, a lot of stuff. So sometimes there were people who were going to do their missions, and now they wanted certain codes. They wanted to crack certain codes, certain numbers. So if they connect with a certain right prophet who can, see numbers, it was easy for them to unlock certain safes and stuff. So, but those are the kind of stuff that we cannot, go deep into, because I know some of you guys, you see a lot of house breakings and stuff which are happening, and you ask yourself, questions. Like, we understand the break-in and everything, but how did they know the combination of the safe and stuff? Maybe they are working with the lady who is a domestic worker or this and that. No, there are people who are gifted with numbers, people who can see certain combinations, And when they gave, people who are doing whatever the jobs that they're doing, they just get it exactly the way it is. And you will be shocked. There is so much which is happening when it comes to the spiritual world. And there are those who also, you heard about Zamazama, right? People who go and dig, in the mines, and they get, gold in there. And you keep on asking yourself questions. There are those who goes there and they get trapped into stuff. And there are those who are known, they've been doing it for a very long time. And you ask yourself, how do they always go in and out and they are not trapped in there? It's because of there are Satan prophets who tell people that, today don't go there because of 1, 2, 3 will happen. And these guys who goes and go and dig, most into Zamazamas, we call them Zamazamas. They're different. I don't know about others, but I can tell you about what I know. To places where I used to go, you'll find certain guys coming in, they're wearing smart, these guys, you see the cars they're driving, and you'll hear somebody say, no, these guys, they're the ones who are Zamazamas, they're dealing with this and that. Now, there is certain prophets who can identify the spot whereby they can find the gold. So when they go and dig, these guys, they are not all over the place. They know where to go because of they were told where to go. And when they come back, that prophet, will get his piece of meat because of he saw where to go so that they can avoid going to a wrong place and end up being trapped into that. So there is so much which is happening in the spiritual world that even if we start sharing, it sounds like, this guy is just making up stories. There was a day whereby, I was just there, in the presence of the greats. I remember there was this other guy who was just told about, his bank account balance. He was told about, the way he's spending money. And he was told that, look, I know how much you have in your bank account. And I just want to tell you that the things that you're doing, they are very wrong because you are old. You are not young, but you're busy chasing all these young girls and you're spending that money recklessly, not even taking care of your children. You need to think about, spending money, to your children rather than spending it to all these girls who doesn't even care about you and stuff. You see a guy being told things and the guy start crying. And there was this other young man I remember on the other day, and he wanted to challenge the guy who was prophesying to that person. And he wanted to show that he can also see. Because what I can tell is that, sometimes you find out that we are in group and most people who are there, they can see. It's a lot of prophets, and it's that ego thing of saying, I can also see what is happening in your life. I can also prophesy this one about this and that. So it becomes like a competition. And one thing that I can tell you is that there was a day whereby the other young man was trying to prophesy someone who has been in the process of receiving a prophecy from the other prophet, and now he wanted to challenge, the power that he see a lot. And the prophet who was older than the young one, he just told the young one that, look, you are a baby, sit down. When it comes to prophecy, you are just a baby, you cannot match me. Because you are busy here under the bridge and you pretend like you're a great prophet, you know all these type of things, and your rape case will come back. Because of you think you are done with that rape case that happened, I almost mentioned the place where the guy came from. So it will happen. I know you have a car, this model of a car, the color is like this, and that car is sitting on top of bricks, and you cannot tell me nothing, man. I know even the types of pairs of shoes you have. So he started telling him the colors of the pairs of shoes and everything. And the young man was crying because he was told that you are going down. That case that you thought it's been thrown out of court, it will come back. And this time you're going to jail. And there is so much which is happening. We were all sitting down. And I remember that guy who was giving, people those kind of prophecies. He just looked at me and he said, you know what they told you? You know what to do? Some of you guys, your things, we cannot speak in public about them. You know what you were told. And I'm like, yeah, I know. So it's one of those things. There is those days whereby, guys, they get into their spaces whereby, their ego just get carried away, whereby they just want to show how powerful they are. Because one thing you need to know, that once we are at that space or under the bridge or next to the river, everybody's connecting with, their angels. Everybody's connecting with their ancestors. It's no longer about a certain church, because you find different people from different churches, they're under one place, and now people are like prophesying. Although we might say there is no space of saying this belong to this church. There will be one or two people who will be there, not identified as they're coming from this other church, and they will just go get water. And sometimes you will find guys who are like traditional healers not staying with us. The person will come greet, go down there and, get water and start clapping, whereby you will just understand that sign. If you are a traditional healer, you will understand, okay, the guy is connecting, the guy is clapping hands, means, he is humbling himself, he's connecting with the landlord, he's connecting with the river, he is connecting with his ancestors. There is a lot. There is a lot. But I don't want to go too far, because I remember somebody said, you need to spoon feed them. Don't just go wild about these things. You need to, be careful when you talk about these things. Just give them a bit, just give them a bit until there is a day whereby you can have a full production where you will tell story, broadly, whereby everybody can get the story and get the message out of, your journey or your process and everything. And of course, there were those who, didn't want to be seen. They will just, arrive at the place around 10 at night. They will be there, they pray. And around 4 o'clock, early in the morning, they will jump into their cars and they will go back home and focus on the things that they were doing, because they didn't want to be seen, And those are businessmen who are known around the place. And those are, people who have in status, or people who are just famous. They just don't want to be photographed, during the day where they will be on the front page. But those kind of guys who are respected or working for top companies, they are the ones who will mostly go and check where we put our food. And the person will look around and say, guys, why it seems like you guys, you don't have anything to eat? It looks like, this and that is finished. And they will give us something to go and buy food, when the morning comes. And there will be those ones who are not rich, or they are not well known. They're just great people. They will just go also and check there and say, guys, you know what, I have something for you guys, and I want you to go and buy food, but I don't want to give you cash. I want to go in town with one of you guys and buy what you guys will prefer to eat. And I was that guy that most of the time you'll see the guy looking into my eyes when he's talking, and guys will be like saying, no, just go with him. So I will always ask him, the budget, what am I working on? How much are you willing to spend when we go to the shop? So the guy sometimes might say, I have 200 rand, or maybe I have 300 bucks. I know that whatever I'm buying, it has to be below 300 bucks. So I remember sometimes guys will be like saying, look, we are tired of eating this kind of meal. You need to go to Roots Butchery. There was a butchery called Roots. And they will say, man, go and buy bones. There was these cow bones that we used to buy them. And they used to be, man, so delicious. And they were a lot. When you buy them with 20 bucks, we can all eat. So guys will be like, you know what? For a different, we're tired of eating, these sugar beans. We're tired of eating the cabbage and stuff. Just bring us bones, man. And I will go there to Roots Butchery and I'll buy a packet of bones. And I will share that story of how we used to have fun when I cook bones and stuff. And now I will go there with this guy. If he has about 300 bucks or 400 bucks or maybe 200 bucks, I'll work on the budget, and I'll know that the biggest thing that we buy is the 10 kg of brown mabele pap, because I always preferred eating brown pap rather than, white pap. Even sugar, I always prefer the brown sugar than the white one. So I will always go and buy things which are needed there, so that we know that even if we don't have, money next time, we know that we have something that we can cook. And now there are days whereby there was no one who will show up. Nobody will show up there, and it's just bad. We don't have sishebo and stuff. And there was a place where we used to walk, and we find that, the tomatoes, they were just growing. We will go there and get those tomatoes because no one really owns that place. It's not really like a farm. It looks like it used to be a farm before, but they're no longer farming. So tomatoes just grow there. So we will go there and get the tomatoes, and we will come back and eat, cook those tomatoes and make nice stew and eat with pap. That was our life. And when we cook bones, it's like those kind of family reunion thing whereby everybody will be around. No one wants to go anywhere because it's like bone. It was like our meat because we couldn't afford to buy the T-bone, afford to buy this steak and stuff. So that's how we used to survive. So join me on part 2, guys, when I'm sharing some crazy stories now with you.